Hello and welcome, this is Oshi and this is going to be a very special walkthrough because this is a deck that I've made. I mean remade, because I made the original one last year around Halloween season just for personal use, but then some people expressed interest in maybe possibly getting the deck for themselves as well. So I sat down and redesigned a few cards, added a few more, and that's what I'm going to show you today. I have the guidebook available and where you can get it from playing cards in the description. Also with every other little tidbits that you need to know if you want to get this deck. Just a little disclaimer, there's no flip through up yet because when I ordered my prototype deck, I was probably just too nervous and excited and didn't realize that I managed to leave out one card, which I will insert in the screen possibly after I went through the whole, all the cards, because I don't think I will remember to stop there where it's supposed to be. But if I can do that, then there's going to be a card on the screen for you to see what is it all about. The deck comes in a simple white talk box. I didn't want to, bump up the price by designing a fancy box. I know that, some people hate these white boxes, but at least you can put the deck somewhere in. And if you're artistic, you can, even design some cover for yourself. I'm thinking about making, bloody handprints like these ones on the box itself as well. So it's gonna be a fun side project for me. But I think I said everything that I wanted to. Yeah, I guess. If not, then, I'm gonna talk about it when I'm going through the cards. So this is the back, and the card finish is the standard M30 make playing cards finish. So it's a bit, it's not shiny, but it's not matte. But I kind of like it. I can shuffle it well, which is awesome. The size is the jumbo size on the website. I'm going to post all the dimensions and everything on that page that I dedicated to this deck on my website. There's 30 cards, and there's 29 in this walkthrough, but there's 30 cards. And what made me do this was the fact that when I was doing a lot of pick a card readings for last Halloween, I had no zombie oracle deck to pair my zombie tarot with. So I, set out and made myself a deck which was very good, and I was able to get very good readings with it. So that's why I'm confident that this can be a usable deck for other people as well. Now, I didn't go too much into the gory side of things, even if my current background suggests that, because not everybody likes that, me included. I'm not into the too much goriness, because why not? We don't have to. So cards like the bite mark is not about, it's not about dripping blood and whatnot. Hope that's okay for you guys, but if you're looking for something more, it's not that. But I do still think that this is a really good deck. Obviously I'm biased but it would be so cool to see you guys use it, so hopefully you will find it useful as well. Besides the going through the cards and talking about them a little, hopefully just a little, you can skip that part if you don't want to and just check the guidebook, because I explained all the meanings much more coherently in that, and then just wait for the flip through if you really don't want to, or just put it on a speed, double the speed or whatever, and just check the cards. But after that, I'm going to show you a few decks. I have 6 decks that I paired these cards with, which I think would work very well. It's tailored to Halloween season, obviously, but I think you can use this all year round, because the keywords are, okay, bite mark not be that obvious at first, but I think once you read the guidebook once, you will be able to use the deck without the need to check it all the time. So yeah, let's stop talking about that and let's check the cards, shall we? So first one is bite mark, which is injury and fear. And this talks about when in a zombie fight, you might get a scratch or you might get a wound, and in the middle of it, you might get terrified because you think that you've been bitten. It's absolutely sure the end is near and you're gonna just turn into a zombie. But because it happens in that heightened state, you might mistake a simple wound that you got from another weapon, or just not zombie bite, as a zombie bite. So this card signals that whatever is happening, the injury that you suffered, this might not be as bad as you think. So you need to double check the wound to see if you need to start panicking, or it's just fear that's talking. And this is the bag, by the way. I really like it. This is the toxicity card as well. Okay, so that was the first one. Second one is one of my favorites. I kept this design from the previous one. The cards are in alphabetical order, but I didn't use the brain because that's the name for this card on this card, because that's the only one where the name is not the same. It's not at the U in the guidebook, because I think it's obvious that this is a brain and you will remember where to find it if you're looking for it. And this is food for thought, because and being smart. And this talks about how zombies like to snack on the brain. This is their favorite snack. After all, that's what keeps them going. And it means that you should, guard yours much, much better than you're currently doing it, because maybe you're letting other people influence you in a way that you shouldn't. And this also talks about putting up boundaries and protecting yourself so other people or zombies can't take advantage of you. So yeah, use your brain and think for yourself, which I think these days is a very useful card. I dedicated this one to a lot of situations last year. The third one is chaos, which is panic. And this is about that moment when the news broke and it's official that zombies are coming, and then everyone starts running around and you don't know who's zombie, who's human, who you can trust. And when you're in that heightened state, you can't trust your own objectivity because you don't have one. So you need to just take some deep breath and look at the situation again, just like with the injury, but that talks about more like something that you actually, it's a wound that was inflicted on you. Maybe someone hurt your feelings and you don't know if it actually hurt your feeling, or it was your pride and stuff like that. With the chaos, it's more about the situation you find yourself in, where you don't know if you should trust somebody or not. And it could be that you shouldn't, but you need to, just take a few deep breaths and calm down and assess and reassess the situation. So I hope I'm explaining the differences good enough, but if not, please read the guidebook. Clarity was also, I think that was the first one that I redesigned. The old one only had just the moon. And even though this might look like that there are fairy lights, in the background, but that's actually fire, speckles of fire that left after a forest fire when you dealt with the zombies in the hardest possible way. But this is talking about that moment when the immediate danger is not there, and the moon comes out in the forest, and you finally see where you need to go and how you can actually go there safely. So it's time to take action, because the moment can be gone pretty quickly. The next one is company, which I also really like. I mean, I'm gonna stop saying that hopefully, but I like all of them. I made them, and this is about friends or enemies. Where are you in your current life? Are you with people who care about you, who are whose priority is to make sure that you're okay, or are you with the zombies and you're just running with the crowd that's not good for you, but you're there because you don't know how to, either because you don't know how to get away from them, or because you haven't realized that your current friend group might not be actually good for you. Next one is fake news. And yeah, the world is full of fake news. It's misinformation compared with the lack of critical thinking. So this card is about and I try to make it funny, so hopefully it's funny in the guidebook. But this is about what did I want to say? It's it's misinformation. Something in the situation that you're in is not what it seems like. It's coming from the outside, and it's trying to influence you in a way that is good for them. So it could be, a fake friend, or maybe if we're doing a reading about work, for example, it could be that your colleagues are feeding you misinformation, so you would believe something that's not actually true, and you might make a decision based on that. So again, this is about think for yourself. I mean, yeah, I had to emphasize that because these days we're not doing that. But yeah, fake news is more about that bigger picture, when you're not when you shouldn't trust something like your boss or the government, for example, big things, bigger outsider factors. False safety is the next one, which is always the moment in all the TV shows and movies when people wander into a town that seems quiet, and at first they are suspicious and they are on guard, but as soon as they see a house that they want to get into, they just go and forget that they should be much more careful, because if the town amidst a zombie apocalypse is quiet, that never means anything good. So it talks about trusting your gut, that if you feel that someone is deceptive or the situation is deceptive, it's probably not safe, so you have to remove yourself from it. Next one is fear, which talks about nothing is as it seems, but you shouldn't stop fear. You shouldn't let fear stop you from moving, because it can be very immobilizing, because you think that everyone is out there to get you. You don't dare to move. You don't dare to stay in a place. So you're just exhausting yourself with thinking about the worst possible scenario, when in reality, the thing that you might be afraid of, in this case, this shadow figure here, this might be an actual zombie, yes, but this could be just a bird bath in front of the window. But you won't know until you dare to look at what is scaring you. You have to look at that thing that's scaring you to know if this is real danger or if this is just false alarm. Fuel is about luck, finding that extra can of gasoline or fuel that's hidden in somewhere that you wandered by accident, that will help you keep going, because you're feeling you reach the end of your with your wheel, you feel you can move on, and then life gives you something small that will help you overcome this feeling, because it wants to signal you that, hey, you're on the right path. So when this card comes up, you can expect something lucky, probably small, to come up, or a sign that you were looking for, that would reassure you that you're on the right path. And you can continue with your car and, kill zombies. Hiding is about being clever and being brave, which sometimes mean hiding, actually, not engaging in conflict with people who are bigger than you, who are meaner than you, who are more vicious, because being brave doesn't always mean that you have to rush into danger. Sometimes it means that you assess the situation smartly and you realize that, not engaging in conflict is the best for you and maybe for other people as well. So when you hide, when you step away from that conflict, it doesn't mean that, you're a coward. It means that you're smart about the situation. The next one is Inside Thread, which is about blind spots and unexpected issues that are coming from either from yourself, or it's about maybe deception and a problem. Not necessarily deception. It's more about an unexpected issue that can come from within yourself, and by that I mean that you're resisting a potentially good situation, but you have to figure out why you're resisting it. Or there's someone close to you who have a problem that they didn't share with you previously, but they will, or if they don't, you need to, investigate. But this is talk about threats that are not obvious, blind spots. Just like a virus hiding inside you. Next one is Joy. And this card is about making sure that even if you're grinding, you're fighting against zombies all the time, you're grinding in your everyday life, you're taking care of your responsibilities, which is very important, but you need to find moments to actually just enjoy life, because if you don't enjoy it, if you fight for the sake of fighting, that's not going to be enough. Then you're not going to be able to go on. So, if you find a rusted little toy car, just play with it for a while and pretend that the world is a better place, because you need that. Last attempt, which comes before clarity, if you want to set up an order, is talking about being desperate, but knowing that you have to just try this one thing one last time, because if you don't, you can kiss goodbye to everything that you were fighting for. So this is if I want to say tarot, it would be around the 8 of Pentacles, maybe. That when you need to continue, or not even the 8 of Pentacles. It would be about 9 of Wands. 9 of Wands, yeah. But yeah, it's giving your all, just one last time trying to fix a situation, or a situation, or a conflict with something that you considered useless before, because if you don't try it, you'll never know. But after this one, if you try it and it's not working out, it's time to walk away, time to let go. And this is talking about being afraid of change, not being able to letting go things that were once maybe a human, now a zombie. Or if you're a zombie because you turned, then time to let go of this life, because you're no longer something that you wanted to be. And I don't mean it in a bad way, just if you're a zombie, But yeah, it's about letting go of people or situations that are no longer there. Because sometimes you're trying to hold on to someone like the zombie because we see who they were used to be, but that person is no longer there, so you have to let go as well, because they already did that. They turned into something that's not the person, or if it's a situation, it's not the situation that you want it to be in anymore. Next one is New Beginning. Also, I like this one. I don't know, I just like the colors and everything. And this is talking about how you can start anew after the shit we went through with the zombie apocalypse, and building on that knowledge So it's not necessarily a new beginning when you get a clean slate. It's more about a new beginning where you use your past experiences, all the difficulties that you went through, all the hardship, and you build on that so you wouldn't make those mistakes once more. Because I think that's very important. And with the zombies, you wouldn't let those scientists to play with viruses again. Because that led to a zombie apocalypse. Outside threat, just like the inside threat, it's talking about danger, but this is an obvious one. So it can be, hopefully it's not a zombie, but if you run into a zombie, you will realize, because it will look like a zombie, it will talk like a zombie, or not talk like a zombie, smell like a zombie, you will know that you shouldn't trust it. So this is about something in your life currently that is just dangerous. It's not good. You shouldn't engage with it. Use the hiding after this one, especially if you get the 2 card together. And then we have the possibilities, which I left out, which I'm going to put on the screen currently. And this one talks about when you need to just go, because there's an actual possibility for something better. Just like when you see an open road in a zombie movie or TV show, the sun is shining, the clouds, are there, and they are fluffy, and everything just seems peaceful for once. And it urges you to take this possibility and use it, because you just never know when an opportunity to move forward like this will, come along. Okay, so that was possibilities. Did I talk about overwhelmed? No. Okay, I skipped overwhelmed because I thought the possibilities is, I just mixed up the order, whatever. But overwhelmed is about mental exhaustion. When you're fighting, you're running from an enemy for so long, you get exhausted, obviously. So this signals a time when you need to take time to meditate, to do something that would mentally recharge you, because you're in danger of burning out mentally, because there's a physical card. So that's the possibilities goes between these 2 cards. I'm sorry, I just misread the ABC on my screen. So next one is point of view, which signals that you're too close to something currently, and you might not see a way out of it because you're too close to it, or you don't see the solution, how you could solve the problem. So you need to change your point of view. You need to take a mental step back and be more objective and more discernment. How do you say that? Have more discernment, whatever. to be able to assess what's happening correctly. So, if you're in a zombie situation, go up somewhere where you can see all the moving parts around you. Next one is prepared, which we all should be, because life these days shows that something like this might happen. I hope not, because we can see how we handled it. But yeah, this card signals that you need to be more mindful about your resources. You have to start saving up, for example. So don't spend money. Don't, use all your canned foods or dried, I don't know, like pasta, dried foods, whatever. Maybe you should, make a little stash that you can fall back into if things change for the worse for some reason. Next one is resilience, also one of my favorite ones. I just love the colors and the snow and whatever. And this talks about what we experience when we go through something difficult, because I really hate that saying, that what doesn't kill you, it makes you stronger, because it's also not true. But if you survive something difficult like a zombie apocalypse, yeah, at least the first one, you start building your skills, you start just getting stronger, being more resilient because you have to, and it just happens. But it also, so it signals that you're already building on something, that you're more resistant than you think. But it also talks about how you shouldn't let those experiences harden you so much that you would forget how to be kind when you run into other people, for example, or that when you run into zombies, you're not supposed to torture them, because they were once human. It's not their fault that they become something in your life that makes things unbearable. So yeah, it's about resilience, but it's also about resisting that urge to put up too many walls and being resistant as well. Next one is rest, which is about physical exhaustion, because you don't want to rest when you're dead. This signals that whatever you're doing in your life currently, if it's running from zombies, I completely understand, but it's important to actually take a notice of your physical health and be sure that you sleep enough, you eat well, and you exercise and all that. Because when this card comes up, it signals that you're overstretching yourself physically. Next one is safety, which is the double card again, because this can talk about finally reaching safety and being in a place where you feel safe and secure. Or it can talk about that when you're behind those walls for a long time and you don't know if the danger that you ran into from that, you ran into from in this place is still even there. So you have to decide if you want to stay here, limited but safe, or you want to venture out and check if maybe things are different now. And then we have sign, which is talking about trusting your gut and the importance of, looking at signs and don't ignore them. And this can be a negative or positive card depending on what your question is or how you feel about it, because it can be a sign that, this bloody handprint can mean that, hey, zombies are here and you shouldn't, roam around the area. Or it could mean that people were here already and they cleared the area and it's safe to continue to go. But you're the only one who can interpret these signs, because they are for you. And even though other people might say that, hey, this means this, you have to trust your intuition and assess these signs and take away the meaning for yourself. But no, it's important to don't ignore them. Next one is skill, which is about adapting and thinking outside of the box, because when we're entering such a time when zombies are everywhere, we will have to adapt, we will have to change and find a weapon that is specifically for your skill set. Because some people might be really good shooters and they can take out the enemy from far away, or some people are better with swords, or with baseball bats, with nails, sticking out of them. It's important to know what you're good at and start working with that skill, building on your knowledge and your talent. Or what is that word? There's a word, whatever, but yeah, building on something that you have an inclination for, because we're not all the same, so you have to find your own true and unique talent. Okay, next one is solution, which is obviously, finding the solution for a situation, or in this case, the virus. It signals big changes, big positive, ending of a cycle in a positive way. So, you know, this is also signaling to not throw caution into the wind with you know, for example, with the wire, you know, with the vaccine, but it signals that you can finally be optimistic for sure about things that are coming up. And we're almost at the end. We have toxicity, which is, you know, like the back. And this talks about not just a toxic situation, but it talks about what we are willing to use to win a war. That we need to be mindful and careful about consequences. For example, if we're talking about zombies, all the toxic waste and chemicals that we throw at zombies might kill the zombie, but it might hurt Mother Earth too much that it's not going to be a livable, viable place after we finished killing. Which I know when you're in that moment when you just want to protect yourself and you want to destroy the enemy, you might not think about it, but this card signals that you should. And it also talks about being mindful about what you say, because words have power and they can be poisonous. And it's not just about other people's words towards you, though it can be about that, especially with the company card, you know, together. That would signal for me that it's more about the not very good friends, the enemies part of that card. But it's about what you say, what you're willing to say to win an argument, for example. Because if we're together with people for a long time, we will know what makes them, you know, take what buttons to push. But this card wants you to be mindful about that. And the next one is Treat, which is about indulgence, and it's about living in the moment and using what you have and actually enjoying it. Because even though being mindful and being resourceful for the future and saving up is a very good, but sometimes you have to actually enjoy what you have, because you don't know what the future holds. And always trying to be living in the future, you know, I will go for a holiday if I don't know, I pay back all the loans, and you know, if I have my own home and if I have that job that I always wanted, is a good idea in a way, you know, not throwing away all your money and not having anything to fall back onto, but fall back to. Sometimes you have to go for a holiday if all your friends are there, because those are the experiences you won't able to recreate later, no matter how much money you will have. So this card signals a bit more like that, you know, enjoy that glass of water, because, you know, who knows when will the next town that you walk into have actual bottled water. And we have Turning, which is also about ending of a cycle, but it's more about the negative way, or not negative necessarily, but more about in a way that you don't know what's coming after it. Because with the solution, you know that it's going to be a positive change. With Turning, when you're turning into a zombie, from a human's perspective, that's a very, very bad thing, because you're no longer are going to be a human, but who knows what you will experience once you're something you never intended to be, or you feared, you know, becoming to. Sometimes we need to go through these changes in order to become who we truly are, but we're very, very worried how we'll be when the change is gone. So this is about embracing that change, even if it's scary. And the last one is about Warning. And the difference between this one and the Sign is that the Sign can be positive or negative. It really depends on how you read it. With the Warning is easy. It says, danger, do not enter. It's about something you're contemplating doing that you shouldn't. And these are the cards, and hope you like them. I mean, I hope I explained them well. Like I said, you can have the guidebook and read through all my little explanations. And It shuffles well. The cardstock is great. So like I said, I'm going to show you a few deck pairings now. Just checking if I'm in frame. First one is the Zombie Tarot. This was the one that I used last year. So if you're curious how certain cards worked last year for me, you can find them in my Halloween picker cards. But let's see. We have Seven of Cups here, which is about procrastination and changes and with new beginnings. So this could mean that you're done with something difficult and you have more options than you think, and yeah, you have more options than you realize, and most of them are gonna be on the positive side because of the new beginning. So it's not about some of them are bad, which can be when you're reading this card alone. It's highlighting the fact that you have more options than you realize. We have signs with the Queen of Hazards, who is the Queen of Pentacles. So this could be a sign that a more financially stable period is coming up, or that you will find an opportunity that can help you to reach this caring and resourceful state of being. We have skill with the Sun, which could be that you have the skill that you need to progress to a life where you're happy, you find happiness for a longer period of time, because you can overcome the difficulties that can lead to a much more harmonious and more positive period. Well, you can also get that clarity because you have those skills to assess a situation, to see what's actually true and what's not. So this is the Zombie Tarot. Next one is the Santa Muerte. And I like that first one already. We have the Fool and we have the bite mark. So, don't be fooled, don't rush into conclusions. This is not the time to act like a fool. It's more about, slowing down and assessing a situation. We have Judgment with new beginning. I mean, look at that. I mean, do I have to spell it out? It's about new beginnings and judgment. And in this case, interestingly, the skeletons are coming up. Here they are dead, but it's about reaching a new state, overcoming difficulties, and restarting things on a higher level. So even though these are different style, I still think that they can work well together because the theme fits. I haven't tried them yet with too much of a normal, not Halloweeny decks, but I think they could work as well. It really just depends on how your taste is. Two of Pentacles, warning. There is something in this Two of Pentacles which is about, balancing your everyday work life, for example, with your personal life. Even though this card kind of suggests more of a personal thing. That's how I read the Two of Pentacles. So it's about the warning. Something in your life currently is really out of balance, and maybe you're considering fixing it in a way that you shouldn't. Okay, now am I not able to do this? The Page of Pentacles and the Point of View. Page of Pentacles is about, learning how to manage your finances and physical 3D resources. It's the first step toward mastering that skill. And the Point of View might suggest that you think you know how to go about that thing, how to go about doing this, how to go about managing your financials, for example, how to connect to nature, because that's also in the Pentacles. But this card suggests that you're too close to that situation. You can't see the forest from the tree, so you have to take a step back and be a bit more logical about it. So yeah, I think you can see that these two work as well together. Next one is the Darkwood Tarot, which has vampires mostly in it, but still, and you know, completely different art style. But I don't know, when I look at these two cards, I really like what I see aesthetically as well. And with, you know, Page of Swords, with prepared, Page of Sword is that also page, interestingly, like the previous one, is where you're, you know, you need to be mindful about communication, because you might not be very clear or knowledgeable about things that you're talking about, or something like that. And with messages, you know, you might get, because pages are messages, it could be that you need to be prepared for something. Yeah, that's what I would get with this one. You need to prepare for something. You will get news about something that requires you to have everything you can at your disposal. Turning with the High Priestess. Wow. Okay, so, you know, trusting yourself, because whatever you're becoming, whatever changes you're undergoing, is for your higher self. Your higher self is trying to communicate with that change. You're becoming more of this High Priestess who is in tune with the secrets of the universe, who has spirituality and just a different way of looking at life and understanding things in a deeper level, which I really like. And let's see another one. Oh, we have Devil and Rest. Well, Devil is not just about sexuality, though it could be. So if it's like that, then, you know, sleep some and sleep alone. But it can be, you know, overdoing things, overindulging, overusing, overeating, over anything. And this card is telling you that stop doing whatever you're overdoing, because it will have a long and lasting negative effect on your health, which I think is, you know, usually obvious. So yeah, that was the Darkwood. Next one is the Supernatural Tarot, which is a more simple but, you know, monster hunting type of deck. So I mean, there are a lot of peepish cards, but I still think that the theme and the style work together well. Ace of Pentagrams, which is Ace of Pentacles, you know, new opportunity for something that has a long-term positive effect with safety, can be about, you know, leaving your comfort zone. Because if you're stuck behind those wires where you're safe, that's true, you're gonna miss out on an opportunity that could, you know, really add to your life. We have the Sign with the Empress, which I would take as the Empress is about creating something. It can be a life, or it can be a project that's very, very close to your heart, that you care about, you want to nourish and nurture and, you know, protect. And I feel more like that with these two cards, it would signal that whatever you want, you know, a child or a project, it's coming in soon. And, you know, you will get a sign of what is it exactly, or how to start with it. But you have to pay attention to those signs, because if you don't, you ignore them, you might miss out on an opportunity to start a project. It's more about like that. Or it's just a sign that you might get pregnant, you know, with the bloody hand. I don't know. We have Fear with the Seven of Cups. Interesting, Seven of Cups. Again, I think that was in the previous ones. Seven of Cups is about, you know, yeah, I think that was the previous one where it was more positive because of the oracle. And here it's about not using opportunities because you fear you don't have any, or you fear that all of these chalices or cups are the same, and they all filled with something really bad. So you don't want to move forward because you don't dare to choose anything. And this card, the fear, is highlighting that you should actually look at all of these cups individually and see if they are actually bad for you, because most likely they are not. And false safety with the Eight of Cups. So yeah, it's Eight of Cups is about walking away from something, a situation, or a person that is no longer good for us. Even though we invested a lot of emotions and time and energy into that, whatever we need to walk away from, it's time to go. And false safety could signal that you think that whatever this situation you're in, or whoever this person is good for you, it's safe. But when in fact, there's some deception in the background going on, and that's why you need to go. Okay, so yeah, that's the Supernatural Tarot. Next one is the Shadowland Tarot with Tower and Chaos. And yeah, I mean, if you know what the Tower card is about unexpected change. When, the rug is being pulled out from under you because you need to change something and you're refusing it, and you're trying to build on a foundation that's not stable. And chaos is what ensues when something like that happens, because you just don't know what's going on. Everything is falling apart. So you have to, push through that stage or state in order to move forward. We have, again, prepared with Eight of Pentacles, which in this case, I would say that Eight of Pentacles is about refining, mastering something, a project or skill that you are working for or with for a longer time. And, you're in that stage where you're almost at the finish line. But you have to be prepared for this stage as well. So you may be not yet at the Eight of Pentacles, but it's coming soon. So the Oracle is highlighting that you need to prepare for that boring or repetitive stage, because you will have to use all your resources and motivation that you have to be able to push through. And we have resilience with the Queen of Swords. And the Queen of Swords is about someone, who's just, who can be kind of blunt with their words, but they are very wise as well, because they don't let their emotions to control their mind and their objectivity. And you can reach this queen stage by being resilient. But it's also, a warning not to be too blunt, not to be too cold when you're delivering your truth, because you might, hurt other people as well. But okay, so yeah, that's the Shadowland Tarot. And the final and last one is one of my newest decks. Let's get two ones, okay. Which is the Tarot of the Abyss, which is a black and white drawing deck. So it has, it's not a white, I think it's more of like a cream or eggshell color, ivory, something like that. But I think the fact that this is not colored at the moment really plays well with the colorfulness of this deck, because we have the Two of Wands with the solution. So Two of Wands is about deciding where to go, making a choice about starting a journey. And with the solution, it indicates that one of the choices that you can make or choose is going to be a solution for a long time problem, for example. We have Nine of Pentacles with toxicity, and I like that, because if you remember what I said about toxicity, it's not about just our words hurting each other, but about what we do with nature. And when I look at that Nine of Pentacles, it's about being in sync with nature, being in your happy place, but your happy place include flowers and forests and just, you know, being present as a human being. But with toxicity, it's very, very highlighted to be sure that you're doing everything you can to live a life that is not just good for you and for other people, but good for the earth that we are living on. But yeah, I think I'm going to stop here because, you know, I could do this for hours, but you don't need that. And yeah, thank you so much if you watched this. And like I said, all the information how to get the deck is down in the description. The flip through is coming as soon as I get the new deck, and maybe something else if I can figure that out, but I don't want to say anything currently. And yeah, please do let me know if you're interested in getting it, or if you get it, you know, tag me everywhere. I want to see it used because that would make me so happy. And yeah, please do let me know what you think about the deck, and but just, you know, be mindful about your words because words can hurt. But have a lovely day, and thank you so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon as well while you're ready. Bye.